A few months ago, I wrote an article titled, "Will Democratic Centrists Support a Very Progressive Candidate?" And in that particular article, I pointed out that there were people coming onto Morning Joe and elsewhere that said, Democrats that is, that said, if Bernie Sanders or Elizabeth Warren was elected, that they would vote for Donald Trump. The question then arises, what do our leaders or leading politicians have to say about that? Well, we don't have to go too far to find out what many of them think. Remember, they're always saying, progressives, if we go ahead and primaries elect a centrist, go do your job, vote blue. Well, check this out.
Well, now we have a response from Manchin. In an interview with Fox News, he said that if Sanders is the nominee, he will not back him.
Bernie and I have had many conversations. I think that Bernie brings a lot to the table, makes you think a little bit, kind of gets the blood going and stirring and everything, but it's not practical where I come from. Bernie keeps saying Medicare for all. I said, Bernie, we can't even pay for Medicare for some. I says, right now the trust fund's going to go broken by 2026, and these are people that paid into it and earned it. Now you want to expand it. What happens? So it doesn't make sense at all.
What if he were your nominee for president and it's him versus Donald Trump? Who do you vote for?
It wouldn't be Bernie.
So when he was further pushed by Cavuto, Manchin would not say whether he would choose Trump, but he made it clear he would absolutely not support Sanders. Now, I want you to imagine how many Neera-Tanden heads would automatically detonate if Bernie Sanders said he would refuse to back the Democratic nominee and hold out the possibility of choosing Trump instead. The MSM would even cut into their all impeachment all the time coverage to go into spasms of rage at the mere possibility that Sanders could possibly support Trump in this unfathomable way. Divisive, angry, makes my skin crawl. I don't doubt that some pundit or another would actually propose he was traitor to the nation for giving aid and comfort to Trump. HRC would likely emerge to accuse him of being a Russian asset, and spokesperson Nick Merrill would wittily snark, well, the nesting doll fits. Weirdly, none of that happened. As it turns out, I guess with the vote blue no matter what mantra, some exclusions do apply, namely Bernie Sanders exclusions. This whole unity thing doesn't count if it's a centrist Democrat trying to save face with their corporate patrons. It's only when it's a progressive trying to actually get something done for the working class. Manchin's refusal to back Bernie is particularly galling since he did support Hillary Clinton in 2016, a woman who was despised in the state, lost every county in the primary, and whose model of politics was honestly an integral part of selling Manchin's people down the river. Utter gutting of small towns and small cities, commodification of everything, devastation of unions, and coziness to the big pharma companies that have utterly devastated a generation of southern West Virginians. These were the Clinton politics that Manchin was comfortable with, getting everyone health care and ending the environmental degradation that has literally poisoned the water his people drink, allowed outsiders to come in and suck his state dry of their natural resources, leaving little in return. That is apparently, in Manchin's words, not practical.
Crystal ball hits the nail on the head. That is why we have to do this work, because with the corporate mainstream media is not going to tell the true story. Why is it that he would even have to think about it if there are two people running, Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders, as the two nominees of the respective parties? Why should there be a question whether Joe Manchin supports the Democrat? That is what they've asked of progressives throughout the years. That is what progressives have done throughout the years. If the party intends on continuing, they better get some better spokespeople, and they better go out there and ensure that unity prevails, whoever wins the nomination.